and good evening. Welcome to the Highliner Activity Center. High school volleyball coming away tonight here in the Highliner Activity Network as Valley City will be taking on Northern Cass in Region 1 action. Our junior varsity game about ready to start. On the C squad, that was won by Northern Cass 30-28, 24-20 in the two sets. And Northern Cass coming away with the C squad victory. And here tonight, our junior varsity with Northern Cass and Valley City. And coming up here at around 7:15, we'll have our varsity match with the Highliners and the Jaguars. And a pleasant good evening to you. Paul McDonald with you tonight here from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network, along with cameraman, technical director Beckett Ness, joining us high atop the Highliner Activity Center here on this Thursday night. On what has been a busy week already for the Highliners with, of course, homecoming week. And again, this match was originally scheduled to be played in the Northern Cass, but Northern Cass wanted to switch the home games around, and so it will be right here in Valley City. So they get a couple of home matches here on homecoming week. The Highliners in their royal blues or their navy blues, tops and bottoms, and the Jaguars in their blacks with the gold numerals and lettering. Of course, Northern Cass, very good volleyball town, very good volleyball school. A couple of state championships in recent memory, and a long line of state tournament appearances in recent memory for the Jaguars. We'll talk more about that coming up here during our pregame. And tonight's coverage of Highliner volleyball is being brought to you by Bridge City Dentistry in Valley City. So the JVers step on the court first. Laney Bacalar will be doing the opening serve, I believe. The Highliners, well, let's double check. Nope, it'll be Northern Cass. That'll be serving first. Marley Wilner, the junior setter, will be serving it up here for the Jags. And we are underway here with this JV matchup. Set by Bacalar, near side attack, Glant. That's going to go off Wilner, and the point. A kill by Kinsley Glant, and the Highliners with the early 1-0 lead. And back serving for Valley City. Let's see there. There's a pick out of the net by Wilner. Free ball here for the Highliners. Bacalar. Set Johnson. Glant attack, tipped at the net. Then over by Wilner. Sather. Bacalar set near side. Tipped there by Potratz. Sliding dig on the receive there for the Jaguars. Keeping it alive is Anderson. Johnson gets it back to Potratz. She'll send it over net. Here's Weibel. Pass. Set Wilner off the attack and hits the line judge. Michaela Helen, our line judge. Katie Sather on the other side. Shelby Dietz, our up official here in this JV match. 2-0 Highliners with the advantage. Here's the attack. Cover there by Johnson. Bacalar back set. Glant on the attack and long. Side out. Point Jaguars 2-1. Northern Cass going left to right here as you watch the Highland Activity Network. We do appreciate you joining us on this Thursday night. Harper Rust now is back to serve. Pass, Johnson. Bacalar, set, near side. Attack, Potratz. There's a set far side. Weibel on the attack. Off the Wilner set. Bacalar again gives it over to Potratz. Free ball again here for the Jaguars. Rust. Wilner, set far side. Attacking Weibel. On the dig. Nice cover there by Sather. Bacalar gets it back to Potratz on the attack. Dug there by Rust. Here's the attack up and over by Gietzen and dropping it in for the kill. Liliana Gietzen with the point. 5'6" sophomore. And the Jaguars have evened things up here at 2-2. Rust to serve. 5'7" junior. Potratz, Bacalar, back to Jay. Jay off the attack into the net. Attack air, point Jaguars. They'll take their first lead at 3-2. Serving, Rust on the attack, near side, and in, right down the line. And it just was on the inside of the net, dropped in, and an ace there. Nice serve there by Rust. And it's a 4-2 lead for the Jaguars. Harper dropped that in. Potratz is going to let it go, and it hits the line for the kill. Now Bacalar, the floor captain, chatting with Dietz, the up official. Yet in volleyball, similar to basketball, they will say you are going to be the captain, and that is the only person that can address the official. Here's another ace. Russ back-to-back aces, and it's 5-2. That's a 5-point run here for Northern Cass. So the floor captain is the only one that can have a discussion with the up official. And there's a auto rotation on the Highliners. So another point for the Jaguars. They lead at 6-2. A 6-0 run here. Theme tonight is, again, Western or West Coast. So you're either going to see people dressed like they're in California or if they're in Texas. Could be an interesting mixture in the crowd tonight. Here's Bacalar, set middle. Off the attack, Glant blocked at the net. Ace block in the middle. I believe that was Brindley Winterquist with the ace block in the middle. The 5'10 junior. And it's a point for the Jaguars and a timeout for Valley City. 7-2, Northern Cass with the lead. We're in the junior varsity match. We're back with more Highlander volleyball from the HEC on the Highlander Activity Network, being brought to you tonight by Bridge City Dentistry. And a reminder with Bridge City Dentistry, smile bright, day or night. Your perfect smile starts here. That's Bridge City Dentistry. And talk to Dr. Tessa Legine, Dr. Karen Berg, and the fine crew at Bridge City Dentistry. And see if they can improve your smile today. Here's a serve by Rust. And she gets another ace. That is her third. That was just a miscommunication in the back row between Claire Johnson and Jay Potratz. It dropped between the two of them. So 3 aces here by Rust. And the advantage right now for the Jaguars is at 8-2. They have rattled off 8 in a row after an early 2-0 lead for Valley City. Serve on the way, Potratz. Bacalar, she'll tip into the near corner. Rust can't keep it alive. There's a kill by the setter, Lainey Bacalar. That stops the 8-point run, and it's 8-3 or 3-8. Bethany Schultheis now will take the ball and go back to serve for the Highlanders. Serving 3-8 in set 1. Wilmer set middle, near side, actually attacked by Gietzen. On the cover is Schultheis over by Johnson to the net. Tipped back over. That was blocked, but it was Potratz that did get that tip back over. Here's the ball at the net, dropped in. Nice tip there by Weibel. Back here for Valley City. Johnson gets it over. On the dig, set Wilmer. Cross court, Winterquist. Off the save, Johnson. Schultheis will get it over for Valley City. Wilner sitting at far side. Weibel on the attack. Sather with the dig. Bacalar set near side. Potratz into the net. Attack here. And Valley City now trailing 3-9. And back to serve. Brindley Winterquist, 5'10 junior. Up and over on the serve. Potratz. Bacalar set to Glant. As he gets it over on the cover. Rust here near side, down the line, and that was out wide on the tip down the line by Gietzen. Point Valley City back within 5 at 9-4. In and back to serve, Allie Welkin, the freshman. And she'll send it over. Davidson, the libero, Wilmer. At the net, tipped over. Gietzen back to Valley City. Bacalar sets it over by Johnson, here to the middle. Wilner setting it up, far side. Weibel gets it over. Now back to Welkin. She'll set Bacalar. Bacalar sets middle. Johnson tipping it over the blockers. Right there on the covers, Wilner. Back to Davidson, the libero. Set back on Rust on the attack. Sather with the dig. Now Bacalar sets near side. Here's Potratz. She'll go back on the attack. Rust with the dig. Wilner with the set. Nice dig by Schultheis. Keep it alive for Valley City, but it's going to drop in as Bacalar couldn't pass it along. Point for the Jaguars. They now lead it by 6 at 10-4. Subs coming in here. Nyla Erickson, the sophomore, will come in. She will go into the back row to serve. Also checking in, Abigail Schenk. And she'll send it over. Here's Schultheis. Bacalar back set. Attack, Potratz into the net. Point, Jaguars, 4-11. Jaguars by 7. And And Nyla Erickson, the 5'6" sophomore, with the serve. And that's going to be a service error, side out, Point Valley City. Down by 6, 5-11. Jay Potratz to serve. Fires that one over. Russ. Set Erickson on the attack. Weibel and the kill. And the kill there by Kate Weibel. And it's 5-12. Highlanders down 7. And Weibel, the sophomore, goes back to serve. Right-hander with the serve on the way. Potratz. Bacalar set near side. Sather on the attack. Ours to dig. Davidson. And Davidson with the set. Two different ones. Rust on the cover there was Potratz. Bacalar setting it for Sather. Davidson with the pass. Erickson with the set. And the attack wide and long on the attack by Harper Rust. Point Valley City. Actually, I thought Davidson was also the setter. That is Erickson. That is the setter. 12-6. Highlanders down by half dozen. Claire Johnson now back to serve. And just gets it over. Davidson on the receive. That's going to be an ace. Claire Johnson will get the ace. Highlanders down 12, 7-12. And Claire with the serve. Just got it over. Davidson, Erickson. And then dropping it in. Little easy tip kill there for Chase Rust, the freshman. Point for the Jaguars, 13-7, leading by half dozen. And back to serve, the libero. Avery Davidson, the junior, with the serve. Gerhardt, set, Bacalar. Attack Sather, blocked at the net, ace block at the net. Winterquist was there for the ace block. Or solo block, however you want to phrase it. Point for the Jaguars. 14-7, they lead here in set one. Davidson with the serve. Potratz to Bacalar, setting it. Ella Sather goes cross court. Davidson on the dig. Erickson set. Near side attack into the corner and the kill. Abigail Schenk with the kill. I've seen Abigail's name spelled that way, and I've heard it pronounced Skank and Schenk. And I believe it is Schenk. Here's the serve on the way. Oh, Lofter. That's the return by Gerhardt over by Bacalar. Here's Davidson, the libero. She'll set it. Schenk attack into the net. Point Valley City. Highlanders down 7, 15-8. And Lady Bacalar to the back line to serve. Kinsey Glant comes in front row for the Highlanders. Here's the serve by Bacalar. Davidson. Erickson set, middle. Winterquist can't tip it over. Oh, they're going to say it was tipped at the net. I thought that was 4 hits. There we go. Thank you. Shelby Dietz a little late to blow the whistle. Had to think about it. So 4 hits, violation. 15-9. It is a 6-point advantage for Northern Cass. Here's Davidson. Erickson with the set on the attack. Cross court and out. Cross court attack by Rust. And the Highlanders within 5 now at 15-10. 3-point run here for Valley City. Laney Bacalar to serve. Up and over near side, Davidson. Erickson with the set. Tipped over by Schenk. Nice cover. Gerhardt, Bacalar, back set, Glant. On the dig was Erickson. Here's Valley City. Gerhardt near side, Sather. She'll get it over. Tipped the top of the net and goes out. Point for the Jaguars. 16-10. Northern Cass up by half dozen. Back in. Eliana Geetson will come back in front row. And Marley Wilner will go back to serve, and she'll take over setter duties. Serving from left to right here in the opening set. Gerhardt receives, past Bacalar. Near side, Glant. Tipped at the net, Davidson. Free ball at the net. Right back over by Tess Anderson. Tessa getting the kill. The free ball that came right back over, and Tessa was there and puts her home for the kill. Point Valley City. 11-16, Highlanders down 5. Now let's say they're back now to serve for the Highlanders. And need a substitution. Addie Jewett comes to the bench. Claire Johnson in. Gerhardt also to the bench. Here's the serve by Sather. Set. Tipped over. Weibel now here near side. Bacalar setting it far side. Glant. That is tipped. No. Yep, they're going to say it was tipped. Line judge did not say it, but they are going to call net violation, actually. They are going to call a violation, though. It's a point for Valley City. Either way you slice it. 16-12. Valley City down 4. Sather with the serve. Shank set. Wilner in the middle. Off the attack. Geetson off of Sather. Kept alive by Bacalar. Then over by Sather. Here's Davidson. Pass. Set Geetson far side. Rust attacking for the Jaguars. On the cover there's Bacalar. Back to the front row, over by Potratz. Here the Jaguars. It is Weibel near side, and they're going to call a net violation on the setter, Wilner. So Wilner went to set it, and they're going to call the violation on her. Point for Valley City. 3 in a row here for the Highliners. And back within 3 at 16-13. Here's the serve, Davidson pass. Set, Wilner, far side, tipping at the net. Nice diving dig by Potratz, kept alive by Weibel. And then over by Winterquist. Highlanders with the free ball. Johnson. Bacalar set. Not a real good set there, but nice job by Potratz to get it over. Wilner now setting it far side. Rust on the attack. Dig by Sather. Bacalar set. Potratz will get it over. Free ball for Northern Cass. Wilner set. Backside. Off the attack. Geetson. Nice dig. There was Sather. And then miscommunication between Claire Johnson and Tess Anderson. And that's going to be a point for Northern Cass. 17-13, Jaguars down 4, up by 4. They will send Harper Rust back to serve. And the right-hander serve on the way. Potratz. Bacalar up and over by Glant. Davidson for the Jaguars. Wilner set. Weibel on the attack. Sather with the dig. Bacalar set middle. Anderson on the attack and just long. Long and wide. Point, Jaguars. 18-13. Jaguars by 5 with the serve. Coach Vanessa Coca, 27th season on the coaching staff for Valley City, whether a head coach or an assistant, for nearly 3 decades. Back set, off the attack, nice dig, Sather. Now Bacalar, Glant gets it over. Here's Davidson, set Wilner, far side, Weibel, blocked at the net. Picked out by Winterquist, but the Highliners will get the point. 18-14, Valley City by 4, trailing by 4. Bethany Schultheis now back to serve. Right-hander serves on the way. Davidson pass. Wilner dropping it over. There on the cover, Schultheis kept alive by Potratz. Davidson off the free ball for Northern Cass. Set far side, Weibel attacking. Sather dig. Bacalar set. Glant tipping it over the blockers. Right there covered, Davidson. Now set Wilner. Off the attack, Winterquist. Schultheis gets it to Bacalar. She'll set near side. Potratz drops it over. Here's Wilner. Davidson, she'll back set it far side. Russ will get it up, or Weibel up, over and in, into the corner. On the kill. Point, Northern Cass, 19-14, timeout. Valley City, 19-14. The Jaguars leading by 5. We'll step aside. We're in the opening set in our junior varsity match. Again, coverage of tonight's Highlander Volleyball being brought to you on the Highlander Activity Network by Bridge City Dentistry. Healthy teeth, happy you. Grin with confidence. And it all starts at Bridge City Dentistry in Valley City. Back with more Highlander Volleyball on the Highlander Activity Network. (19-14), Valley City trailing by 5 here against Northern Cass in set number 1, junior varsity volleyball. Bacalar, Glant, far side, cross court, Wilner with the dig. Now Rust and Weibel, free ball, Valley City. Sather, Bacalar set, Potratz on the attack, through the block, back row Winterquist. Wilner sets it far side for Weibel, that's going to go long. Point, Highliners, back within 4 at 19-15. Allie Welkin now will go in and serve. And the right-hander sends it over. At the net, Wilner, set middle, on the attack, and the kill. There's Chase Rust with the kill there for Northern Cass. 20-15, leading by 5. Nyla Erickson now will check in, goes back to serve. Abigail Schenk will come in and be in the front row. Here is Erickson with the serve. Schultheis, Bacalar. Open over Welkin, Davidson, Erickson set middle, on the attack, and the kill. Chase Rust picking up her second kill in as many swings. 21-15, 6-point advantage, which equals the biggest lead of the set for Northern Cass. Actually, take that back. They led by 8 at 15-7 at one time. Sather, Bacalar, Potratz off the attack, cross court. Erickson, Davidson, she'll set it up, back row off the attack. Weibel here, tip there, and that one off of Schenk, off the tip by Bacalar, Point Valley City. 16-21, 5-point advantage. And going back to serve is Jay Potratz. Davidson receives. Rust up and over by Erickson. Potratz pass. Bacalar set near side. Sather on the attack. And the kill. Ella Sather will get the kill. Highlanders down 4, 17-21. And to serve will be Jay Potratz into the net. Service there. 22-17. The lead is at 5. And going back to serve, Kate Weibel. Here are the Highliners with Sather. Cross court. Set. And tip left hand Rust off the set from Erickson. Now backside, Schultheis gets it over. Rust, Erickson, free ball to the net. Pass, Sather. Bacalar, set. Back to Sather, off the attack. Sliding dig by Weibel. Set by Erickson, attack Rust, and the kill. Harper Rust will pick up the kill. Point for the Jaguars. 17-23. It's a 6-point lead. Again, their biggest has been 8 at 15-7. Kate Weibel to serve, the 5'6" sophomore. Serve up and over. Schultheis to Bacalar. Potratz over. Free ball. Northern Cass. Back set. On the attack. Cross court. Schenk. Bacalar with the dig. Sather. She'll set it. Back to Bacalar. She'll get it over. Free ball again for the Jaguars. Davidson. Erickson set middle. On the attack. Chase Rust. Backside dig. Back row dig there by Potratz to Bacalar. Cross court attack. Sather and the kill. Ella Sather will pick up the kill. 23-18. Highliners down 5. Claire Johnson back to serve. And Johnson, the right-hander, sends it over. Here's Weibel. Set, Erickson. Tipped over, Rust. Cover. Sather. Set middle. Anderson blocked at the net. Nice cover by Johnson. Anderson gets it over. Pass to Schenk. Set by Erickson. And in the corner for the kill by Harper Rust. 18-24. Set point here for Northern Cass. And they will send Avery Davidson, the libero, to serve. Serve up. Potratz. Bacalar to the corner. Cover there. Erickson. Davidson setting. Schenk on the attack. There's Johnson from Potratz. Tipped over Anderson. At the net. Set Erickson. Far side. Oh, set a little too far. And out of reach of Harper Rust. Point Valley City. Set point number 2 for the Jaguars. Kinsey Glant comes in front row. And back to serve will be Laney Bacalar. The junior. Davidson. Erickson setting it. Rust on the attack. That's going to go out. And they're going to call violation by Valley City. They're going to call net violation here by Tess Anderson. That'll be a point for the Jaguars. And they will take set number 1, 25-19. So in our junior varsity match, the Jaguars up with a 1-0 advantage. We're back with set number 2 coming up. This is Highlander Volleyball on the Highlander Activity Network, being brought to you tonight by Bridge City Dentistry. As we get ready for set number 2, Valley City down 1-0 against Northern Cass in this junior varsity match. Varsity match scheduled to start at around 7:15. Laney Bacalar will serve things up and get us underway. Here's Davidson for the Jags. Set Wilner, attack Rust, kill by Harper Rust. And the Jaguars with a 1-0 lead. Back to the service line, the aforementioned Harper Rust. 5 juniors on this junior varsity squad. 6 sophomore and a freshman. And there's an ace for Rust. 2-0 Jaguars. And she is back serving here in set number 2. Johnson. Glant to the middle. Anderson over. Free ball. Oh, she got the kill. Was just trying to get it over, but gets the kill. Point Valley City. 1-2. Ellis Sather back to serve. Serves on the way. Here's Davidson. Set Wilner. Backside. Over by Gietzen. Now set Sather. Or pass Sather. Bacalar setting it for Glant. She got it over. Dig with Rust. Wilner. Davidson. Davidson over. Free ball for Valley City. Bacalar. Johnson set. Glant pushes it near side. And nice slide and cover there by Wilner. Free ball for Valley City. Sather. Bacalar setting it up. Glant on the attack and long. No touch. Point Northern Cass. Jaguars up 2, 1-3. And back to serve. Here's Northern Cass in Valley City. Bacalar. Anderson off the attack. Off the cover there, Gateson. Now stepping back, sending it over, Weibel. Sather. Set. Far side Glant. Attacking and no. One line judge says touch. One said no. The one closest said no. The one furthest said yes. She had a better angle. And either way, it's a point. Here, 2-3. Advantage. For the Jaguars. Served by Schultheis. Set near side. Off the attack and long on the attack by Gietzen. That'll be a point for Northern Cass. They go back up 2 at 4-2. Oh, they give the point to the Valley City. Say it was a touch, so we're tied 3-3. Here's Rust. Dumped over Wilmer. Then Jewett got it over. Back to Northern Cass. Weibel with the kill. So Kate Weibel will pick up the kill. That'll be a point for Northern Cass. They go up 4-3. Back to serve will be Nyla Erickson. Erickson, a right-hander with the serve. Back row. And, Bacalar kept it alive. Nicely done. Glant gets it over. And now the Highlander's going to get a point out of it. Nice job. Back row kept on the receive. I think that was Sather that got a nice receive. That'll be a point for Valley City. We're tied 4-4. Addie Bacalar will now go back and serve for Valley City. And she'll send it over the net. Davidson. Set Erickson. Cross-court attack. Schenk. Sather. Bacalar back setting it. Addie now's the setter. And Laney becomes an attacker. And first swing gets the kill. Actually, her second kill. She had a tip kill earlier. 5-4 Valley City. Addie Bacalar to serve. The sophomore. Serving 5-4 here in the second set. Davidson. Quick set. Erickson. Cross-court attack and the kill by Weibel. 5-5. Our third tie. And Kate Weibel will go to serve. Here's the receive. Potratz. Bacalar. Set middle. Jewett on the attack. Backing up Erickson on the set. Attack into the net by Chase Rust. Point Valley City. Let's go back up 1, 6-5. And back to serve. Jay Potratz. Set middle on the attack. Rust and out. Tip. And again, the line judge in the far corner had a better angle and got the tip. But we are tied 6-6. Our fourth tie. And to serve, the libero. As Davidson sends it over. Here's Jewett on the attack. Weibel, set Erickson, backside, attack Schenk. Backlar with the dig. Schultheis, pass far side. Backlar gets it over. And long. Point for the Jags. 7-6, they lead by 1. Again, second set here in our junior varsity match. Avery Davidson to serve. Libero sends it near side. Sather. Backlar set. Jewett into the net. Attack error. Point Northern Cass. 8-6. Leading by 2. And Davidson will continue to serve. Serving 8-6. Second set. Sather. Bacalar. Laney to Addy. Addy gets it over. Sliding on the cover there with Weibel. Ooh, and off the fingertips of Sather. She tried to tip it at the net. That'll be a point for Northern Cass. 4 in a row here for the Jaguars. They take a 3-point lead at 9-6. Back to serve, Avery Davidson. Continuing to serve here for Northern Cass. And into the net. Addie Bacalar tried to fake the set, tip it over, and sends it into the net. Timeout, Valley City. 5-point run here for Northern Cass. They lead 10-6, second set. They lead the match 1-0. Back with more Highlander Volleyball here on the Highlander Activity Network, brought to you tonight by Bridge City Dentistry. Valley City trailing 10-6. Avery Davidson, the junior libero, to serve for Northern Cass. Sather, Bacalar, back to Ella on the attack. Davidson with the dig. Into the corner, Erickson on the cover, Potratz. Bacalar set middle, Jewett on the attack and out. That is a point for Northern Cass. And the Jaguars have rattled off 6 in a row and lead 11-6. And the right-hander, Davidson with the serve. Schultheis, Bacalar, set to Jewett. And up and hits the top of the tape. Spun around a little bit and dropped over as the blockers were up, but they were coming down when it finally finished its rolling and went in for the point. The kill there for Addie Jewett. Highlanders up down 4, 11-7. Claire Johnson comes in to serve for Valley City. Serving 7-11. Here's an ace for Claire Johnson. 2 in a row for the Highlanders. And they are up 8-11. And back to serve, Claire Johnson. Right-hander into the net, under the net. 12-8. The lead is at 4. And in and back to serve will be Marley Wilner. And she will be serving 12-8, second set. There's Johnson, free ball to the net, tipped over by Rust. Nice cover by Bacalar, but out. Off the tip there by Harper Rust. Bacalar tried to give it back, but 13-8, Jaguars by 5, equaling their biggest lead. Here's Johnson, Addie Bacalar to the middle. Anderson over, free ball, Northern Cass. Set Wilner off the attack, tipped at the net by Winterquist on the attack. Ella Sather's going to get the block and the point for Valley City. 9-13, Highlanders down 4. And Laney Bacalar will go back to serve for Valley City. Here's the serve on the way over. Davidson. Wilner set far side. Off the attack, tipped at the net. Winterquist with the save. Wilner and then Davidson over. Here's Bacalar setting, running up Glant, tipping it. Winterquist on the dig. Now setting up Wilner. Attacking is Rust and the kill. Harper Rust will pick up another kill. 9-14, the lead's at 5. And Harper Rust back to serve for Northern Cass. Up and cross court, and the ace. Rust will pick up an ace. The lead's at 6. Timeout, Highlanders, 15-9. Northern Cass leading by half dozen. We're back with more Highlander Volleyball. Again, tonight's coverage of Highlander Volleyball brought to you by Bridge City Dentistry. Sparkle with every smile. Trust us for your smile. That's Bridge City Dentistry in Valley City. A quick commercial and a quick timeout. Both teams back on the floor, ready to go. Back to serve, Harper Rust for Northern Cass. Serving 15-9, second set. Into the net, service error. Point Highlanders. 15-10. I'm going to guess that they will not play a third set unless it's necessary. There's a service error by Sather. 16-10. Advantage to Northern Cass. They will serve up by a half dozen. Winterquist with the serve. Pass to the net and out of the net by Bacalar. Over by Glant. Nice job there. Wilner setting it near side. Attacking Geetson. On the dig, Sather. Bacalar set. Backing over. Potratz tipped at the net. Through the block. Gets the kill. Jay Potratz with the kill. 11-16. Highlanders lead is at a trail by 5. And leading 16-11. Northern Cass thought they got the point, but they got to give the ball back. Bethany Schultheis back to serve for Valley City. Schultheis serving 16-11. Set, backside, off the attack, Geetson. Sather with the dig. Set, Bacalar. Potratz over the blockers. Wilner. Davidson with the set, far side. And up over by Weibel. On the cover, Bacalar, Schultheis. Pass set near side, over by Johnson. And back to Rust, setting it up middle, near side, and good on the kill. Chase Rust, don't think I say it was a net violation. It was in, but a violation on the swing by Chase Rust. Point to Valley City. Highlanders down 12-16. Schultheis to serve. Weibel. Wilner back to Weibel, attacking. Schultheis with the dig, kept alive by Potratz and Jewett. No. Third hit, not going to quite get over. Point to Northern Cass. 17-12, Jaguars by 5. Their biggest lead has been 6 at 15-9. Back to serve, Nyla Erickson. Serving 17-12, second set. Sather. Bacalar, Glant. Nope. It's going to be dropping in. That'll be a point for Northern Cass. 12-18, 6-point lead. And the serve is out. Long on the serve by Erickson. Valley City point, 18-13, trailing by 5. Tuesday night we had the 6th grade volleyball team playing between the second and third set. Tonight we got the 5th graders. Running serve, Addie Bacalar. Here's a set by Erickson, tipped over by Charlie Rust in the kill. She will pick up the kill, point Jaguars. 19-13, a half dozen lead. And to serve, the right-hander, Weibel. Potratz to Bacalar, over by Jewett. Davidson. Set far side, left-hand attack into the net. Off the attack there by Rust. Harper Rust. 14-19. Valley City by 5, trailing by 5. And Jay Potratz to serve. Tess Anderson comes in for Valley City. Potratz with the serve. Davidson receives. Pass Erickson. Rust off the attack through the block. Diving cover there by Potratz. Attack Sather. Davidson out for the Jaguars. Dig. Set to Erickson. Over by Shank. Now back to Valley City. Tipping it over Addie Jewett. There on the cover. Davidson at the net. Erickson over by Rust. Back to Valley City with Bacalar. Setting it near side. Sather on the attack. Now back here the Jaguars attacking far side. Now attacked by Harper Rust. Blocked at the net. They're going to call a lift there on one of two. They had each player could have done that. Point Highlanders. And they are down 15-19. Potratz with the serve. Set, middle. Rust blocked at the net. Back to Northern Cass. Rust on the attack. Botratz, Bacalar, Addy to Laney. Laney got it over. Erickson to Rust, over Schenk. Scholheis for the Highlanders. Pass. Bacalar, set middle. Claire Johnson on the attack and out. Attack here. 20-15. Valley City trailing by 5. And back to serve. Up and over by Davidson. Here's that Bacalar. Got it over. Davidson on the cover. Erickson setting it. Rust tipped at the net. On the continue. Botratz. Bacalar. Attack Sather. Again tipped at the net. Continuing off the dig from Erickson. And then the attack there by Rust into the net. Point Valley City. 16-21. Or 16-20. Highlanders down 4. And Claire Johnson with the serve. Davidson. Set Erickson. Schenk in the corner for the kill. 16-21. Back to a 5-point lead for Northern Cass. Into the front row. Eliana Geetson. Back to serve. Marley Wilner. 21-16. Northern Cass with the lead. Second set. Just got the top of the net and then right back in the kill. And it's just at the top of the net, coming through and getting it over with Bacalar. And then right back, Winterquist finished it and got the kill. 16-22, equaling their biggest lead at 6 for Northern Cass. Wilner to serve. Johnson, Bacalar, there's a net violation. Yeah, she was well over the line. And that's going to be a point for Northern Cass, 23-16. Jaguars leading by 7. Now Addie Gerhardt checks in back row. She'll get an opportunity with the receive. Pass to Bacalar. She'll go back to Gerhardt. Addie gets it up and just got it over. Winterquist. Wilner set backside. Attack Eatson and the kill. Eliana gets the kill. 24-16. Set point for Northern Cass. Match point for Northern Cass. 24-16. Wilner with the serve. Botratz, Bacalar. And tipped at the net by Rust. What are they going to call? They're going to give the point off of off of Valley City. That'll be a point for Northern Cass, and they'll take the second set 25-16. And we're going to stay on time. They are not going to play a third set. The Jaguars take the JV match 2-0. And we are going to stop our stream here, and then we are going to head into our varsity match coming up. And we'll be back with that immediately. You can go right to our YouTube page. We have our varsity stream coming up, and we will start our pregame here in about 10 minutes as Valley City and Northern Cass get ready to go after it here in our varsity match. Junior varsity won by Northern Cass 2-0. You are listening to Highlander Volleyball and watching Highlander Volleyball, brought to you tonight by Bridge City Dentistry on the Highlander Activity Network.